It's about 12:30 p.m. on a bright and mild October 16th, 2022. Temperature in the upper 50s. We're in Beekmantown on the Pellerin Road. It's a place that we like to go at least once a year. In years past, you can still see some remnants of corn out there. This has been the corn maze area, but it's a pumpkin patch today at Country Dreams Farm. And looks like a whole lot of other people decided to take advantage of the very nice weather and the sunshine and come visit Country Dreams Farm. So it's always nice when these folks are visited by people from in and around the North Country. And we're going to look around and just get a few candid shots on this bright and beautiful Sunday afternoon. A lot of photo opportunities here whenever you visit the Country Dreams Farm, but it's particularly photogenic in the autumn. Got proper decorations for the Halloween theme. We're just a day away from being 2 weeks away from the Halloween. Not sure if there's it says corn maze, so there is a corn maze in the pumpkin patch.
Oh, that's so and the way she wants her. Oh, that's much better. That's really nice.
Hi-ho. Dilly. Lots of wild animals here, as you can see. I've taken a couple shots of this little windmill here and asked this fella here who seems to know what's going on here. What's your name, young man?
I'm George Weidel. Calvin knows my name. He just likes to pick on me.
We met George back in about 2 days before Bob Ben died. We did a story with blacksmith and just outside of Moore's, and it was George, and we've known him ever since. And shortly after there, you got a call to come here and help out.
Yep. And the rest is kind of history. Now we have way too many horses and too many projects, as we all know about. But right now, Calvin's filming a 1918 Air Motor Windmill. The manufacturing date is actually stamped inside of that motor up there, which was on the ground about 3 weeks ago. But we just put it up.
Just put it up, wow.
Just put it up. It was, well, Melissa has wanted a windmill for as long as I've known her.
Melissa who?
Melissa Monte Provost.
Okay, she's the owner and operator here.
Exactly.
But you do the heavy lifting.
And I do the heavy lifting and heavy work. Train the horses, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the crash test dummy.
So Melissa wanted this?
Yep. Actually, I was looking at Facebook or Marketplace or something one day and came across this on there. It was in Vermont, and the man wanted $3,000 for it, and sounded kind of like what we really were looking for, the size and everything, and the manufacturer. So we went over and looked at it, and as we were counting out the money, the man got another call, and he says, "I'm sorry, I just sold it." So we were at the right place at the right time with the money.
Wow.
But anyhow, we've had it for 2.5 years now. Early this spring, I decided it was time to start working on it. We had it sandblasted prior to that, and I primed it all. But most of that tower is new steel. The 4 lower legs, the angle irons are all new. 2 of the uppers are new. All the bracing is remade. I made all that. And we bought some new parts for it. It works well.
Yeah.
It really does.
When the wind blows.
When the wind blows. And up till the point we put this up, the wind always blew here. And now that we have this up and need water, sometimes the wind don't blow quite often.
You notice it now when the wind's not
Now
blowing.
you notice it.
All right, see, you've got your pumpkin patch over where the corn maze used to be. So
Yeah.
and you got some sunflowers over here.
We
Behind
have
there.
sunflowers over here. This pasture on the right and the one on the left where there's corn, they are actually our sacrificial pastures. We put the horses in there in the winter because we have water and power at both of those pastures, so we can keep them watered and the water unfrozen with the heaters. But it's a maintenance issue kind of, so every spring I have to clean up the manure and the old hay, and then we disc it up, and putting in a so-called cover crop, which the sunflowers are and even the corn right now, stabilizes and breaks up the soil so the compaction is dissipated, and we get the benefit of it. I mean, we sell sunflowers $1 a stem, which is pretty reasonable, we think.
I think so.
And it does a world of good. What'll happen now is after our season is over, I'll put the horses back in there and they'll eat the remnants of the sunflowers and the corn, and it'll all be good.
So sunflowers are edible then?
Sunflowers are edible. We eat the seeds.
Okay.
And we did a photo shoot out there with one of our horses a week or so ago. And as she's standing there getting her picture taken with a rider on her back, she's eating sunflower heads. But she's a sweetheart, that girl.
So your horses aren't little tiny ones. They're workhorses. How many you got now?
Oh my God, I
Besides
was afraid
too
you were
many.
going to ask me that.
Besides
Too many. We're up to 15 now of the big workhorses. And we have 4 more coming this spring.
And they probably don't all work. They don't all pull their weight, do they?
Predominantly they do. The only ones that aren't working yet are 3 of them. We have 2 yearling fillies and a 5-month-old filly from this year. And they're not working yet. I mean, they're being trained every day. We handle their feet. We lead them around on a lead rope. They learn commands. All of our horses doing what we do here have to be very good-natured, like people.
Oh, yes.
No aggressive tendencies at all. So they get a lot of socialization, a lot of hands-on from different people, and learn that people are nice.
Oh, some people are.
Most people are.
So the corn maze entrance is down that way?
Yep, the corn maze entrance is down by the covered bridge there, right where those
Okay.
people are.
Yeah.
We did hopefully our last flashlight night last night. That gets tiring, but we'll be doing our haunted maze this coming Friday and Saturday.
Okay, today's the 16th, so
So it'll be the 21st and 22nd
okay.
will be our 2 haunted mazes.
How many more weekends are you open, George?
Probably next weekend and the weekend after.
Halloween weekend?
Halloween weekend is our last usually, yeah. But, I mean, what's the sense of pushing the season at that point?
Yeah.
If we have pumpkins left over, we either sell them by the pickup load for animal feed, or we pick them up and use them for our own animals to feed them. Pumpkins are a great nutritional source,
Uh-huh.
and they're all grown here, so no sense pushing the season anymore until they rot out there, and then they're useless. So
So there's a saying feed costs have gone up. It's got to be kind of expensive to feed all these critters.
it's getting that way. Fortunately, this year it was a good growing season for hay, so there's a lot of hay out there. Hay, the price is down. We should have enough right here on the property now to get us through the winter. We've probably got 400 round bales and maybe 1,000 square bales in the barn.
And you've got chickens and goats and other
Chickens
things.
and goats and sheep and pigs and a couple of ponies and a couple of donkeys and too many critters to remember them all.
They don't all have a name?
They all have a name.
They all do.
I know the horses' names. Don't ask me anybody else.
So you're offering hay rides today?
Yeah. Normally we would have the horses out, but with this flu that's going around, and I hesitate to say the work ethic today, but we're very short-handed. It's hard to find anybody that wants to work or would be a responsible worker.
Gee, nobody's ever said that before, George. This must be an isolated case, because every place else
has all the help they need.
All the help they can get.
I can, I know when I was a kid growing up, or most men my age, when you were a kid, you walked high and low looking for work for the day. If you made 50 cents for the day, you were happy.
I didn't
Now,
have to walk very far.
No.
Up on a farm.
That's it. But nobody wants to do it today, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, how early in the spring do you open your doors to the public?
We try to wait till middle to early May. We try to get through mud season before we open up. I mean, it's not very pleasant walking through 2 feet of mud and seeing all the animals covered in mud, but that's, a fact of life. There's not much you can do about that, but we try to limit other people, outside people's exposure at that point. Because nobody really wants to pet a muddy goat or a muddy horse. We do, but that's different.
And obviously, you wish every weekend could be as busy as this is.
Oh my God, this has been a phenomenal weekend. We were really busy yesterday, and today Woodmen of the World are here with 2 of their chapters, so we are really happy.
Yeah, I know. It's just a great turnout. I heard some people speaking French walking by, so you got some visitors from north of the border. That's something you didn't have the last 2-3 years.
No, not at all. And prior to that, we did have quite a few. We had quite a few guests from Montreal and the surrounding area up there. We'd like to consider them all good friends, and they are, and we converse with them, keep in touch on Facebook, So it's been good.
Yeah. All right. Something's got the goat's interest over there.
Oh, yeah. I think that young girl just took out a bale of hay.
Oh, yeah. So
nice, fresh, green second cut. They like that.
Okay, anything else, George, I should talk to you about here while we're...
I don't think so. We are now actively breeding and selling Belgian Workhorses.
Okay.
We finally found the stallion that we were looking for years. He is what they call the old style Belgian.
Okay.
They are shorter in height and shorter in body length, but they have massive bone structure and muscling. And actually, he's way down there. You can see him just walking. He's the furthest one out. You can see just to the right of that brown. His name is Tommy.
Okay.
Yep. He comes from just on the edges of Quebec City in Canada.
Oh.
But he is also the stallion to die for. If he got loose right now and came up here, I would not be concerned at all. He does not have an aggressive bone in his body. He loves people. He's a gentleman. When he breeds the mares, it's all around good with him.
Okay, good.
He works in the public. We do sleigh rides with him. We do wagon rides with him. He's just a good boy. And he's throwing beautiful babies.
So how many a year do you get to sell?
Between 2 and 5 a year, depending how the breeding season goes and if there's any issues.
Another wagon load of happy...
Another wagon load of happy people.
And these are things that these kids will remember for the rest of their days.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. Oh, that's okay.
That's all right, Natalie.
We were done. Come on over, Natalie.
Natalie,
nice job with that. Nice job of carrying that hay over there, by the way.
Calvin is from the
Hometown Cable.
Hometown Cable
All right.
channel.
Having some fun here?
He always has fun here. He was riding in the wagon with Melissa one day and Gordy Little. And he was standing up in the back of the wagon. And Melissa was driving through the back gates into the hayfield. And a stick came up and broke the valve stem off the back tire. Sounded just like a gunshot. Pete and Pat, two big elderly. Boom!
They looked at each
And
other.
all you could see on TV was Calvin's camera filming them, and then it went like this, and it was looking at the sky.
Oh, and they didn't take that long. It was
Did he? Yeah.
instant.
Should have put it in slow motion, right?
Melissa said, "You're going to edit that out, right? Right, Calvin?" He said, "Oh no, this is going on TV."
That's the fun. It's like a lot of people
That was
going
good.
sleigh ride. Sometimes it's okay, boring, beautiful, but when something happens is when you have the stories to tell everyone
That's
else.
right.
I'm out. I'm sleeping.
Oh, where the tags are.
That'll wrap up our brief look here on this Sunday afternoon at Country Dreams Farm on Pellerin Road in Beekmantown. Corn maze, you got in the distance out that way, you got the sunflowers, you got hay rides, you got the pumpkin patch, and the petting area. Well, I'm not sure how close you can get to the goats, but the goats are in there, and the chickens, and that area with the small animals. And all in all, a fun afternoon for the youngsters and the whole family alike. We can't leave without saying hello to the owner of all this stuff that had this dream. How many years ago, Melissa?
Oh my gosh, almost 30 years ago. But I've been dreaming about being a farmer since I was 3. So, yeah, but I've been here almost 30 years.
Holy cow!
Doesn't seem that long, huh?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when you first started talking about this? Well, first started talking to us about this. And
Yeah, that was a long time ago, and people talk about this all the time. Like they're always talking about it, and they'll ask us about old shows we've done. So yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, do you try to be a little different every year? Move stuff around, or you try to?
Yeah, every year we try to do something more. We try to add to, or something that people aren't going to expect out of us. This year, my top thing was the windmill put up. George is meticulous, but he finally got the windmill up. So yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I remember those windmill blades are still on the side of the barn there, and I told them that next time I came here, I expected them to be up acting as a windmill, but those blades are still there.
Those blades are still there, but we lucked out and found a really amazing windmill in Vermont from a guy there, and he just didn't have time to do it, and so his loss was our gain. So yeah, I love it.
So you've been busy inside cooking all day? Or?
Yeah, pretty much cooking all day today. Yep. Not where I want to be. I much prefer to be out with the people, but that's where I was all day today.
Yeah, like George said, finding people to help out is a
So
chore
hard,
in itself.
So hard to find people that want to work. Yeah, just so hard. So, but and a lot of our really good volunteers here are older, like my age and older. So we're very thankful for them.
Now, 15 big horses now you're up to. That's a lot.
That's a lot of horse. Yeah, 15 Belgians and a few smaller riding horses. Yeah.
Do you think you've maxed out yet, or are you going to keep?
Well, we're expecting 4 foals next year.
Yeah, but
so
those are for sale, aren't they?
probably. Well, that's what we said about the last 3, but they were all gorgeous little fillies, and I just haven't been able to part with them. Yes, I would imagine with 4 more, it was like when I first got into goats. Nothing was for sale, and then now, I'd have no problem selling now, but. Yeah, early on I didn't want to sell goats either.
Everything was a pet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now we'll sell. Yeah.
So hope it's been a good summer. Obviously, every day hasn't been like this on the weekends, but it's
Oh my
nice
gosh,
to have a
I
day
know,
like
but
this.
what a weekend this has been. The weather's phenomenal. Can't ask for anything nicer than this.
Yeah. And I mentioned to George that I heard a few people speaking French, so that border being open doesn't hurt.
Oh my gosh, we're so happy the border is open. That border closure was tough on us. I would say probably 10% of our revenue comes from Canada, and we're very happy to have them back.
Yeah, just in time.
Yeah.
So in a couple more weeks, then you'll be hibernating for the whole winter, right?
Yeah, right.
Nothing to do for.
Yeah, just nothing to do all winter. Well, there's always animals to feed and snow to move, and hopefully we'll get some sleigh rides in this winter in Lake Placid. But winters are getting tougher and tougher. They're not like they used to be.
Yeah.
But we'll make the best of it.
Yeah. So you cart those horses. That's a long walk for those horses all the way up to Lake Placid from here.
Fortunately, I have a great driver.
Oh.
He'll just throw 4 horses in the trailer and we'll go. Yeah.
Okay, is that the only place in the winter that you have sleigh rides?
No, we do some work for other people, usually private parties, those kind of things, churches, organizations. But the lack of snow in the last few years has caused us to have to think about where else we might offer some sleigh rides, or what we can do to make up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just get wheels on those wagons and you can pull a wagon instead of a sleigh.
I know, we've thought about it. It just doesn't seem as nostalgic as
I know.
runners.
You gotta go with the flow, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went all through this corn maze right here. I did it quite easily.
You did, huh? Yeah, that was for blondes and people who needed extra help. And
My wife's a blonde sitting right over there.
Oh,
She's within hearing distance.
Yeah, she didn't notice it though.
No. So do you grow all those pumpkins here, or are some of those moved in?
No,
all the vines are gone.
No, we grew all those pumpkins this
in
year.
that spot?
Yep. We had to buy in a few smalls because we don't grow many smalls but they're not out in the patch. We bought in some smalls for some orders I had, but we grew everything that's out there.
Yeah, but you got to pick them off the vines here before people go out there.
Yeah,
and
so
that's a
we
lot of
were.
work.
Yeah, we went out and we cut all the pumpkins off the vine so that they didn't rot on the vine, but. Yeah, but a lot of hands make light work, so there was probably 8 or 10 of us out there cutting.
And the frost doesn't affect them?
So far, so good. I mean, I think
light frost, but nothing.
it hasn't been hard enough to really do them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Melissa, that you'd like to tell us here on this October 16th?
No, we certainly appreciate our local following and our customer base. They're what make us what we are.
All right, there's 2 more weeks to take advantage of this.
Yep,
and
2 more weekends.
And she's on vacation for 6 months.
Oh yeah, I'll just lay in the house and eat bonbons and watch a little TV all winter.
There you go. That's some pumpkin pie.
There you go. Yes, Calvin. Well, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Melissa.